Good afternoon. I am John Harder, doing another live broadcast.
Good afternoon.
Oops, I forgot my. All right, that'll be better. I believe this is my 64th or 65th broadcast. I'm not sure. It's somewhere about that, around that number. Okay, so uh, my title for this broadcast is Building the Real You from the Inside Out. All right, building the real you from the inside out. You see, your DNA, your DNA isn't just in your body. Your DNA also exists on the invisible plane. Everything that you own belongs to your DNA on the spiritual side. Everything that you have. This is why it's important that we learn and understand who we really are, because most people don't understand. Most people know very little about themselves, and I think we can actually really, I could even really easily include myself, even though I have now for years done very much studying and gotten very much insight as to who we are as a human being. But I would still have to say that the more I begin to understand, the more I understand, the more I also understand that there is so much more that I don't know, that I don't understand. Now, maybe some of my rattles hardly make sense here. I don't know, but the real you, very few of us really understand who that is, because we look at our, we look at our life, we look at our circumstances, we look at what we're involved in and all that kind of stuff. And in the financial world, or should we say in the physical world that we live in with our body, we tend to be labeled by the amount of stuff that we own. And that is a huge injustice, because there is no way, there's no way that any physical thing can in any way describe the real you. Well, let's first put it this way. For anything to exist on the physical plane, you have to have three things that have to exist, and that is time, space, and matter. All have to be there. And as a human, as a person, we are we have another dimension that is not labeled on either of those three that I just mentioned. Because for time, space, and matter to even be, there has to be another dimension that creates the other three, and that's the spirit. That's the spirit. We are spirit. We are spirit, and therefore capable of creating. Spirit is the highest degree of matter. and matter is the lowest degree of spirit. So if we're gauging ourselves, who we are, and our how should I say, our worth, as it were, if we gauge that on anything that is material, uh, we obviously have no idea. We obviously do not understand at all who we are. Because I would like for us to just understand that the real you, that what we are really building, comes from the inside. It comes from understanding who you are and the power that you have, and you build on that to create your exterior world. Because believe it or not, whatever it is you have already comes from the inside. Now I'm going to be using a couple of illustrations. I hope that will make a lot of sense. Uh, I know a person, actually, I shouldn't really say that I know him personally. He's related to one of my brothers in a way. And he's a person, he builds houses, okay? But the way he goes about it to get paid is that he will build a house, and he does it very quick. He does it with cutting quite a bit of corners wherever possible. And then if the person doesn't pay up right away, he doesn't show up himself. He has somebody else collect the checks. He doesn't want to deal with the person personally. But then if the people don't want to pay, like there have been sometimes people where they were nice people, and they said, I'm happy to, I'm willing to pay, but I want to talk to him. But there was no way that he would arrange that he would actually go and talk to those people. He'd rather take them to court and to get his money, and then he'd be out of there. Now, when we look at a situation like that, and we say, well, what is he building? What is this person building? I mean, every customer that he has is is frustrated, and would rather than would rather would never how should I say, go and tell somebody else, I would recommend this guy because he's a great builder. It's not. And you wonder how long can he keep on like that, on that path. Well, we kind of get the idea, right? That if you operate like that, eventually you won't have anybody to build for, because people will know, they hear from others, right? So my question then is, what is he building? How deep inside of himself does he look, and to understand who he really is and what it is he wants to build? See, we're here to enjoy life, and we are here to enjoy life to the fullest. Now, what we are subjected to, the world that we are subjected to, is very, very far from what life is meant to be. It's extremely far from that. And it simply being is that it's never another person's right to take advantage of somebody. Well, the world we live in is as practically just a few people manipulating the billions. So we can easily see a picture how that is, we're very far from the way life should be. Okay, now This is where TBC comes in. This is where TBC and free energy, both of those come into play here. I was just on Randy's hangout for a bit, and I regret that I wasn't there for more, because what was going on there, I really appreciated the conversations and what he was talking about. But I didn't get on it soon. I didn't get on it right away, and I missed out on quite a bit of that. But you know, I mean, I can always go and watch the video later, I suppose. But you know, in promoting TBC, we end up talking quite a bit about the world that we're living in, the manipulation that we're facing, and there is very, very much for us to overcome from where we are now, because the pathway that TBC is paving is that of prosperity and freedom. So in spite of all of the other cryptocurrencies that already have existed, which is actually very good, because TBC would likely not be here if there wasn't someone else that had built a trailblazer for us to come along and build TBC. But when we're looking at changing the global economy to that of wealth and prosperity, and as our mission statement states, serving one another with love and respect. You see, guys, that has to come from the inside. If it does not come from the inside, then who are we really helping? Who are we really touching? See, in the mission statement, it also says that may the scales of ignorance fall from all whom we touch. This ignorance is so huge in the world that it's hard for us to break the ice, because people trust their governments, and in some cases they don't even have a government, and yet they trust the shadows that are there posing as one. But if we're going to help people, our mission statement states it really well. It states it really well that we help people, and that we do it with love and respect. And this is my passion, that we can overcome and melt the ice that is there now, should we say, the ice of ignorance. People do not understand who they are. They do not understand the power they have. Because what they have, the only thing they have learned is to protect the power outside of themselves, and feel themselves helpless. You know, being run by those who are carrying the guns, as it were. But love has far more power than hatred does. A positive thought is thousands of times more powerful than a negative thought. So that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It is a mission that is so great that we have. I don't know if how often we think about the magnitude of our mission to change the economy of the world. But here's my consolation. We are at the very beginning, and things have gone extremely well so far. And I would encourage every one of us that we do not deviate from the end result, that we keep in mind the picture of what we are here to achieve, because it's far easier to for us to lose our, especially, how should I say it, especially once we have lots, like, yeah, okay, I have lots, and so I mean, why should I go and be very busy helping others, because I'm all, in Spanish they would say, estoy bien servido. I'm well served, I got everything. I would again just say this: if you aren't enjoying the materials that are in the blog, if you don't enjoy absorbing those truths, internalize it and see who you are and find out what power you really have. Let me just encourage you that you really learn more about yourself. Now, I know we can sometimes be all consumed with the idea that we want to do great things, and we want to help others, but it has to start in Jerusalem. If you're going to accomplish anything, it must come from the inside. It has to come from Jerusalem. I had a while ago, I did a hangout, and whereas something, I forget the exact title, but it was about Jerusalem, and it's really from the Great Commission that is given in the Gospels, in the Bible. But the truth is that if we look at where we are in life, I mean where we are as far as the economy is concerned, and where people stand, what do people believe? Where do they stand as far as their thinking goes? As far as who do they think they are? Like, how powerful do they think they are? You see, most people don't believe they have any power, because what they're used to is to just obey the law. Just obey the law, And another law comes up, another tax comes up. All right, okay. Oh, now we have to pay tax on that too, and on and on. Maybe complain for a while, but then, just go with it. Is that really it? Is that all we can do? We have any idea what kind of power we possess? So what kind of power do we possess? What do we possess? Let's think about that for a bit. If we're going to take on changing a global economy, then we really need to think about what actually do we possess. What can we do? Well, let's see. If you have a picture and you hold to that picture of a world that you're going to build, as soon as you have that picture built on the spiritual plane, it now exists. Where does everything come from? The spirit. So imagine the power you have. Okay. Now, if you share that vision of yours with other people, who also catch on to that vision that you have. See, this is what admin has done. That's what admin has done. And many of us have caught that vision. Many of us have caught that vision, but I think we also have quite a number of people in TBC that actually didn't catch that vision. Now, I know that we are, every one of us, we are individuals. We cannot force someone else to. I know that that's the way the legal system is. It is all built around force. But if we can get people to understand that we do not need a world where we are forced, we don't need a world like that. No one needs to be forced. We can live in peace and harmony. But in order to do so, we need to understand. We need to understand where does this come from? How do we, where does it begin? How can we begin to build that world that we want? It begins with a vision. It begins with a vision that we now have, and that many of us have caught. So let us do the best that we can to communicate that vision to others, so that as the economy grows and as our membership base grows, that people will understand what we are doing. Why was TBC even built? TBC is a tremendously powerful tool. And I think we probably underestimate far too often what a powerful tool it really is. Think about that, because it is by the manipulation of the monetary system or systems everywhere in the world, is how the elite have gained so much power. If we can come along with TBC and we build an economy within the economy, making the other one obsolete, then we have given the power back to the people. Does that make sense? When we do this, we have given the power back to the people. I sometimes kind of indulge myself in other countries to see how they're doing, what's going on, how countries are, what kind of, how much fun would it be to go there for a vacation? What all could you do on a vacation and things like that? Like, now, bear with me here for just a bit. I am not the type of person who will go and enjoy a vacation at Cancun or Puerto Vallarta or any vacation spot. That is not me. You won't find me at a vacation like that. It's very, very unlikely, because those things, they're usually so packed with commercial stuff and everything that you have to put way too much effort in to try and have some fun. Okay, so to me, a real vacation is to go and experience the country, experience whatever country it is. What is it like in that country? Not what are the vacation spots. Yeah, things to do for fun, yes, but I'd go out of my way to find a place in a country where there is lots of things to do and for fun and stuff that there's there. I'd go out of my way to go places where there is no commercialism, where where the commercial how should I say, the vacation spots, commercial vacation spots aren't around, because because I'm the type of person, I want to experience their culture, their what are those people, how do they live, what are that kind of thing. That is what I look for. um okay, so anyway, why am I talking about that here on TBC? Ooh. Well, anyways, we are we are building a new community, a community as well, but I mean a new economy. If we can build this economy, this new TBC economy, and free energy, of course, because let's face it, energy is the next major thing. If we can replace, or if we, when we replace the monetary system and give people free energy, there is nothing left. There is nothing left to control people. There's really nothing left, because if we can do that, and if the communication service, well, that is almost taken care of already. We got private communication now through various platforms, so that is highly encrypted, which is actually, by the way, is what I want to use for people who want to come on board and help out with the free energy project. We want to communicate via an encrypted platform, so that we can do our planning and all that without being without it being monitored. So those are the things that that's the economy we're building, where people will again have peace, prosperity, and joy, where all of that can flourish again. you know uh Heaven and earth, they should basically be the same. What is heaven? Heaven is your mind, where you dream, and see the wonderful things that you can do and build and so on. And earth is your body, where that experiences those things in physical form. And if we follow what we have set out to do, and if we do not get weary and faint on the way, and keep on this path, it's only a couple of more years, and we will have overcome the biggest obstacles to build this economy that we're looking to build. So let's keep the vision. For those of you who are watching this, are not in TBC, I invite you, come help us build. Come help us build a world of peace and love and freedom. A place where we will have time to enjoy the good things in life. Because this running around, and being tired at the end of the day, just only to barely pay your bills, that's really not it, guys. That's just really not it. We can do far better. Far better. And I'll say it again. Build that picture inside. Build it in your mind and make it beautiful. Make it big. And then hold that picture day after day, day after day. If we truly learn how to do that, we will accomplish things like you will hardly believe possible. You know what a phrase that is in the Bible says? Where there is no vision, the people perish. What does that mean? You see, the way that's being preached in church very often is that there has to be leaders in the church so that the people of the church don't perish. But guys, that's not it at all. That's far from it. If you don't have a vision in your mind of what you want to accomplish and enjoy a beautiful big picture that you want to do and accomplish, then all the ideas that you would come up with and all that will fall by the wayside. All of your thoughts of success and all that will all perish. If you don't create a vision, if you don't have a vision and hold to that vision. Because the way this works is on a spiritual plane is where you have to build it. And it goes by the picture that you build and the feelings that you generate from building that beautiful picture. And then your actions, they are the right actions because they are then synchronized with your vision. Okay? I hope that makes sense. All right, so again, I invite those who are in TBC and have not, you've kind of don't have anybody to help you, or you would like to, you would like some guidance or whatever, I invite you to visit the links in my description and contact me through my website, and I'd be very delighted to set you up with whatever you need. All right. Well, let's see who is all here. I see you've been doing some texting here, or not texting, but chatting here. Thank you very much, Stephen Coffee. I see you were here right away already. And we got Joe. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And we've got Bitcoin Scott. Thank you. And Scott, Marjorie Harder. Thank you, Joe. Bitcoin Scott. I guess that's the sum right there. Oh, here's another one. Lucy Brown. Thank you. Thank you very much for showing up. And Dr. Joe. All right. Again, let's build that picture. Let's build and let's learn as much as we can about our power, about who we really are, the power that we really have. Okay, and create this economy that will make the debt-based economy obsolete. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and peace.